Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the StreamYard 101 webinar. I'm your host today. My name is Kelsey Bentz, and I work at StreamYard in the customer success department and the tech support live chat. So I'm going to be your webinar host for the day, and we're gonna give you a super comprehensive, hopefully very easy to understand demo of the StreamYard platform to help you get more familiar with what StreamYard is, what it's used for, and how it can really help you grow and expand your own live stream content. So the agenda for today is I'm going to talk a little bit about what is StreamYard, what the point of live streaming is, and then we're actually going to bring you into the StreamYard Studio, and I'm going to give you a live demo of the inside of the platform so that you can really understand how to use it. I see we already have a bunch of awesome viewers in the comments. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, please drop a hello and drop where you're from, where you're tuning in from. I see Vincent is from Maryland. That's so great. It's awesome to see where y'all are tuning in from, because we love to grow the StreamYard community and expand all over the world. And it's so exciting that this platform gives us the opportunity to connect no matter where we are. So welcome, and thanks for tuning in. I'm in New York City, tuning in from Harlem in New York City. So welcome. All right, so that's kind of our agenda for today, and please ask any questions that come up in the comments, and I'll try to get to all the questions as you ask them. But if I do happen to miss a question, you can ask it again, and we'll also have like a specific Q&A session at the end of the episode to answer any questions that I might have missed during the stream. Renee says, "Is this live?" Yes, it is live. Hello, thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's just dive right in. I'm going to start with, what is StreamYard? So StreamYard is the easiest way to create super professional live stream content. And the awesome thing about StreamYard is that it is browser-based, which means you don't have to download any software onto your computer. Everything with StreamYard is done on Chrome browser or Firefox or Opera browser on your computer. So all you have to do is go to StreamYard.com and create an account, and you can start streaming right away. So it's really easy on your device, which is awesome. It doesn't take up a lot of computer space or power at all. And it's a versatile, super user-friendly platform. Hey, Sky's the Limit Fund from Northern California, welcome. So the next thing I want to go over is, why should you even live stream? What's the point of live streaming versus other types of content? Live streaming really is the best form of content marketing. Content marketing takes a long time in other forms. For example, with other types of video marketing or video content, you have to go through a lot of stages of putting that content together, right? So you spend time creating the content, and then you actually film it, right? And then you have to upload it all onto your computer or into your editing software, and then you have to spend the time in post cutting things and snipping them together, etc. So it just takes a long time to put together a really professional looking curated video. And with StreamYard, you can really eliminate a lot of that time, because everything is done inside the StreamYard Studio, which I'll show you once we get in there. So you can upload all of your branding content, your logo, your banners, your name tags, your overlays, your graphics, etc. You put all of that into the StreamYard Studio, and then you go live. And while you're live, you have the ability and the control to customize your stream with all of your graphics and your personalized custom branding, if you will. And so at the end of your live stream, you really have a super professional looking, very comprehensive piece of content marketing that you don't have to touch and post if you don't want to. But then it also gives you the opportunity, if you do want to splice up that content, you can push it even further than just having a live stream. You can take clips of that and post it on Instagram, or you can turn the live stream into a podcast. There's a few websites that are possible to do that, transfer your live stream into a podcast, etc. So it really just it broadens the horizons when it comes to content marketing, which is really exciting. Also, the most important thing I think about StreamYard, what I'm most excited about, is the amount of engagement that you can really foster using the platform. Because StreamYard allows the viewer comments from all the platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope, etc. All those user comments from those platforms filter into the StreamYard Studio, and you as the host can show them on screen and interact with them, similar to how I'm doing now. So I see Dub Hut's comment from iPhone also. Yes, you can stream from an iPhone. But that's a perfect example of a comment that you made on YouTube coming directly into the StreamYard Studio, and then I'm able to show it on screen and interact with you guys. So it's just a great way to connect with your viewers and really grow your engagement, because when viewers feel like they're included in the stream and they're a part of what you're doing, people tend to come back, and want to support you and want to watch your other content in the future. So StreamYard really helps to foster that engagement with your community. The next thing I want to talk about before we jump into the studio is the equipment that's necessary for StreamYard. So the cool thing about StreamYard is that you don't actually need a whole lot of amazing equipment to have a really professional looking stream. You can actually go live from pretty much whatever you have. So even a smartphone, like Dub Hut asked before, can you go live from an iPhone? Yes, you can. You can use an Android, an iPad, a Chromebook, even laptop, whatever you have, you can really use to go live, because like I said before, StreamYard doesn't take a lot of space on your device because it's not a software. So as long as you have an internet connection and a device that is working, you can connect to StreamYard. And the most important thing about streaming is not really necessarily the equipment that you have or how high quality or expensive it is, but more the content that you're focusing on. So you can really create a high quality looking stream as long as you have great content to go with it, and then you can also upgrade your equipment if you are, feeling like, okay, I want to go to the next level. I want to sort of bring in some more higher tech stuff. You can totally use that with StreamYard as well. So you have a lot of options as to, your preference of how you want your stream to look and what type of equipment you want to use. So with that being said, let me know if any of you have questions right off the bat before we jump in. I'm sure more will come up as we get into the studio, but without further ado, let's just hop right into the studio and we'll get going. Oh, I have one from Sharon. I just completed my first LinkedIn Live broadcast using StreamYard. I wish that I had the tutorial first, but the learning curve is short and the tech is awesome. Thanks for saying that, and I totally understand. I think if you are still having questions or concerns about anything StreamYard related, I hope that I can answer them all and appease your worries today. So let me know if you have any questions. Is there any connection between Streamlabs and StreamYard? Not really. No, we're two separate companies. Yeah, similar names, but separate. I believe Streamlabs is also a streaming platform too. All right, so here we are in the studio. So this is sort of the home dashboard when you log right into your account. And we're on the destinations tab. So I'm going to take you through how to add a destination. So a destination on StreamYard is the platforms that you are wanting to send your live stream to. So the direct destination connections that are possible with StreamYard include Facebook page, group, and profile, LinkedIn page, event, and profile. You can connect to your YouTube channel, your Periscope, which is Twitter's live streaming platform, Twitch, as well as the bottom one, which is custom RTMP, which that relates to other connections that aren't direct, such as your own website or Vimeo or something like that. Does StreamYard have copyright algorithms like IG and Facebook? Not directly within the platform. However, if you do use StreamYard to stream to, say, Facebook, you do have to adhere to their copyright guidelines, because Facebook will flag you for copyright, just like they would flag any other video. And the same goes for YouTube. In terms of Instagram, we actually don't stream to Instagram yet because third-party streaming softwares are not in their policy yet. So we're not allowed to stream there at the moment. But whenever they open up their policy to include third-party streaming softwares, we will jump right on that. Great question, though. All right, so I'm going to walk you through how to add a destination. Today, I'm just going to add a Facebook profile. So I come to this page, I click Facebook profile, and this is my producer. So she's logged into her Facebook account on her computer. So StreamYard recognizes, oh, okay, this is the Facebook account. Choose the profile you would like to connect. Okay, Dana Bentz. And then you get this green message, your Facebook profile was connected, you're all set. And it's literally as easy as that. So now you click back to your destinations tab and you can see at the top there, the Facebook profile was just added. And Dana has a whole bunch of destinations that she's already added. So when you add different destinations like your YouTube, your LinkedIn, etc., they all show up under your destinations tab and you can see all of your destinations in a list right there. Deb Hutt says, how about Mixcloud? What do you mean? How about Mixcloud? Do you mean like if you can stream there? If you can get an RTMP and stream key from Mixcloud, then you can stream there with StreamYard. Yeah, and you would use that custom RTMP input on the destinations tab. Okay, so now let's go to our broadcast dashboard. And I'm just going to click broadcast on the left. Perfect. And then I'm going to walk you all through how to create a broadcast, and then we'll enter the studio and I'll go through all of the controls inside. So click this big blue button to create a broadcast. And here is where the multi-streaming possibility happens. So you see all of your little bubbles of all your destinations here and options of where to stream. So today I want to stream to YouTube. So I'll choose YouTube, but then, for example, I might also want to stream to my Facebook profile. So I'll click Facebook as well. And so I just select all the bubbles that I want to multi-stream to and see how she's highlighting all these bubbles. And then that means that all of these ones that I've selected, my stream is going to stream there all at the same time simultaneously. For the purpose of today, we're just going to stream to YouTube. So she's going to unselect all of the rest of those destinations. And it is important to note multi-streaming, which is streaming to a bunch of destinations at the same time, is only available on the basic plan and the pro plan. On the free plan with StreamYard, you can only stream to one destination at a time. So that's important to note. All right, so you have a title and a description, and I put in, whatever title you want, description, testing for the webinar. And then here we come to the privacy option, which is a really cool feature that YouTube offers. You can either choose public, which means it streams right to your channel. It's public for everyone to see. It's searchable on YouTube. You can choose unlisted, which means it doesn't show up on your main channel. It's not searchable on YouTube, but it is viewable by the specific people that you send the URL link to. So you can kind of control your audience in that sense, which is cool. So if you have a stream where, say, you only want a few people to see it, you would choose unlisted and you would send them the link. I have a question. When streaming from a platform like Facebook, is there a way to choose which of your friends or groups you want to be a part of the stream, or does it always go live to everyone? Good question. So you can choose to stream, say if you're streaming to a Facebook profile, you can choose to stream friends only, which means only the people who are friends with you on Facebook can view the stream. However, the best way to do it is to do it publicly, because if you stream friends only, then the comments from those streams won't actually come into the StreamYard Studio for you to interact with. It's kind of important to note. However, if you do want to stream to like a select group of people, you can totally like create a group on Facebook, add all your select friends into that group, and then stream directly to that group. That's totally an option as well. So it just kind of depends how you want to do it. Good question. All right, so back to the privacy. There's one other privacy option, which is totally private, which means only you can watch it. So it doesn't show up on your channel. It's not searchable. It's sort of like a great way to test things. If you want to do a stream, but you don't want anyone to see it, it's just for testing purposes, you would choose private. So for today, we're going to do unlisted. And then we also have the schedule for later option, which is very cool. So basically, scheduling for later gives you the opportunity to create an upcoming live stream holding place on YouTube. And the reason that you might do that is so that you can market your stream like far in advance. So the scheduling feature creates a broadcast link for your viewers ahead of time. So when we create the broadcast, it'll create post on YouTube that says, you know, Kelsey Bentz is waiting to go live and this stream is scheduled for, you know, whatever time you put in. And that's really helpful because if you're marketing an event, say a month in advance, you want to be able to have that viewing link available for your viewers in your marketing ahead of time. So that's where the scheduling feature really comes in handy. And you have the opportunity to upload a thumbnail image for that post that YouTube makes. For today, we'll just use the example of the webinar image. So this is what we would use for our webinar. Dana, are you able to bring that up? Maybe not. Oh yeah, okay, so there's an image. So yeah, that's the example. So you can upload sort of an image of your choosing to be the cover photo on that sort of holding page or scheduled stream page. And then you also get to choose the time. So for today, we'll just choose, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter, 3 o'clock p.m. Perfect. Okay, now we're ready to create the broadcast and enter the broadcast studio. And let me know if any questions come up along the way. Don't forget to ask them and I will answer them. What type of green screen is recommended? Good question. Honestly, anything you find on Amazon under like green screen works. All you really need is like a green piece of fabric that's like relatively flat and it can sit behind you and cover your whole like area behind you. So it's the like brand or whatever for green screen doesn't really matter. It's more just like getting something that's tall enough and, you know, wide enough to like cover your whole background. I hope that answers the question. I was trying to stream in a private room in Facebook to test it out, but I couldn't get it to work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'd be happy to help you after the webinar. We can troubleshoot together. I'm in the live chat, StreamYard.com/contact after this, and I can help you. It's pretty easy. There might have just been something that went wrong, but I can totally help with that. All right, so we just created this test broadcast, and when you come back to your broadcast dashboard, you see the test there that we just made at the very top. So we see that it's scheduled there at the top. We created it at 11:19. It's scheduled for 3 o'clock. All right, so now I will enter the broadcast studio. So you click that button. And it's important to note, I think, that entering the broadcast studio doesn't actually mean you're going live yet. Like you can enter the studio and play around, which is what we're about to do before going live. So never fear. Okay, so here we come to this page and you see my producer, Dana. She's doing this screen share for me. So there she is. You get to preview your mic and you see that the mic is working when you speak with the green bar. Excuse me. You're welcome, Renee. And then Speak It says, I missed the beginning. Will I be able to see it at the end? Totally. Yeah, this video will stay up and my producer will also send y'all an email after the fact with the link that you can use to rewatch the webinar. Okay, so yeah, here we are. You get to choose your display name. You see your camera is working. Great. Now we're going to click to enter the broadcast studio. So that page was just a preview. Okay, so here we are. This is the control room, basically. We call it the broadcast studio. This is where the magic happens. So this part, where you see the StreamYard, it's like the square with the bubbles in it. That's the live stream output. So that's the part that your viewers are seeing. And then the rest of the like white area, that's all just for you to see as the host, as the producer, as the controller. And you can see like when you click on, you know, comments and banners, which we'll go through, you'll see how they all come up onto the screen. So you really have the bird's eye view of everything that's happening. You get both the output and you get the sort of the control room around it. So it's a really streamlined, and just like awesome way to see everything. Does it ask you automatically to download to our hard drive so we can save the file for read broadcast? Great question. So I'll go through how to download your past live streams. It doesn't ask you automatically, but it's very easy to download them. And so I will go through that in just a few minutes. That's a great question. But yes, you can download both the audio file and like the whole video MP4 file after your stream so that you can rebroadcast it and repurpose it. Thanks for asking that. Okay, so here we are in the studio, and you see that Dana has popped down into her little thumbnail image in the bottom. So that's what you'll see like when you pop into the studio. You're not on screen yet, and like you're not live yet. So nothing's happened. Right now she's backstage. So you see this little note, you are not part of the stream yet. Click to add your audio and video. So if you want to add yourself to the stream, you just hover over your little thumbnail image and click it, and then you pop onto the output. Boom. So there she is. And if we were to go live right now, that's the image that the viewers would see, because she's now on screen, she's live, her camera is live, her audio is live, but we haven't clicked to go live yet. So right now it's still a preview for us. Okay. Yeah, nothing goes live to your destination until you click that big blue go live button in the top right corner. This blue thing is the file you uploaded in the setup.
So it was the same image that I used, but it doesn't automatically get added to your backgrounds. Kels, does that make sense? I just happened to use the same image for the thumbnail.
Oh.
And for this background I have.
Got it. Okay, thanks for answering that. Cool. Okay, so let's just go through all of the controls and like what the possibilities are, in this broadcast studio. So all of the controls are on the right-hand side. So you see we have all these little buttons here. We have the comments, banners, brand, private chat, settings. So I'll bring you through all of these. So the top one is comments. So like I was talking about before, this area is where all your viewer comments from all the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, etc. All the comments come into the StreamYard Studio and they compile in that comment section. And then you can click on them to display them on screen like we've been doing with y'all's comments. So Dana, can you sort of give an example of that with the viewer comment? Yeah, so that's what she's doing, Renee, with your comment. She just clicked to display that. And then she also did it on the output. And that's the example comment. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Michelle says, can this integrate with a virtual event platform? Absolutely, it can. Yes. Usually, I mean, we can go anywhere where you can connect via RTMP. So that covers probably most virtual event platforms. They all generally have that capability. So yes, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, that's the live viewer comment example. And as the comments come in, they come into the studio in real time, and then you can choose which ones you show on screen and choose which ones you don't. So that's the cool thing. If you do have a stream where you're like, I don't want to engage with the comments at all, like that's not on brand, it's just like not the vibe for this production or whatever, you don't have to use the display comment feature at all, but you'll still get them into the studio and see them. You click the actual comment to get it to display. Yes, you do. Yeah, so you hover your mouse over the actual comment like that, and then click it, and then unclick it to remove it, which is pretty cool. My top right only has record options, not go live. So that's probably because you need to add a destination. So you can't go live anywhere if you haven't added like a Facebook profile or a YouTube channel. So I would recommend clicking to edit the pencil icon in the top right, and you can click to add a destination to broadcast to. It'll be that little plus sign if you don't have any destinations added yet. And that's how you'll be able to go live, is by adding a destination. Okay, moving on to the banners tab. So that's the next control. And the banners tab is really cool because you can create little lower thirds essentially directly in the StreamYard platform and put, questions or comments or whatever you want in those banners, and then you can display them on screen. So Dana, can you give us an example of what that looks like? Yeah, so that's a banner essentially. It's like it's a little bigger than, the name tag. It's good for if you have questions that you want to like highlight, like the what is StreamYard question. Yeah, it's just like a really cool like thing that you can help make your stream really dynamic. Yeah, little bullet points, etc. And you can also have your banners tick across the bottom of the screen. So see how she's doing that, where it says, welcome to the StreamYard 101 webinar. You can have both a banner displayed on screen that's like normal that's not moving, and then you can also have one tick across the screen, sort of like how they do on the news. And it just helps make your stream really dynamic, and it draws the viewer engagement in. It's a lot. It helps break up the static nature that some of these video platforms have. We're watching so much content in these times that any little like dynamic boost that you can put on your stream, I think, is really great and helps your viewers. If you're doing a Facebook Live, wouldn't other people still see the comments posted even if you don't click to display them? Yeah, they would. So like if someone comments on your Facebook Live, another person watching on Facebook Live will also see that person's comment. But if you want to, as the host, like interact with a certain comment, it can be really helpful to display them on screen, just like I'm doing with yours, to sort of like engage with you in that way, even though you're not on the stream with me. So it's really up to you. But yes, the comments, they can still see the comments on the platform, even if you don't display them. Okay. When I set up, I could see my business Facebook page, my personal Facebook page was not there to select. My business page is attached to my personal. Why is that? So you're likely thinking of a business page versus a personal profile. So if you try to click to add a destination and click Facebook profile, I bet you that your personal page will show up there. There's sort of like a confusion with the verbiage. Your personal page on Facebook is actually called a Facebook profile, like your personal one where you can like add people as friends and like, share people's stuff, and it's like your personal self. That's called a Facebook profile. And then like your business page or your, like stuff where people will like your content but can't friend you, those are the Facebook pages. So there's kind of like a weird distinction between those two. But I think if you try Facebook profile, I bet you that will solve your issue. Okay, Jack says, love it. Thanks, Jack. Can you also use like a presentation, like highlight bullet points, etc.? You can screen share presentations. Like if you have a presentation, say in PowerPoint or Google Slides or something, you can screen share that. And I'll walk through sort of how to screen share in a little bit. Highlight bullet points, I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but like you could use the banners as bullet points. You could like create different banners with your highlighted, with your highlighted information if you wanted to. Okay, cool. So that's banners. Let's move on to the brand tab because this is where stuff really gets juicy. Okay, so the top thing that we have is the brand color. So this affects the name tag color, the comment color, and the banner color. So it's really like the whole brand color. It helps your brand be like very cohesive. Say if your stream, like your favorite color was pink, for example, and your business, was like something to do with pink, like your logo was pink or whatever, like that's just your theme color. You can make the StreamYard color exactly that same shade of pink so that everything like goes together and the banners turn pink, the comments turn pink. And it helps that sense of dynamics that I was sort of talking about before. See how much it changes the look of the stream, like just how she changes the color. It's fantastic. Yeah, so cool. And you can even, if you have like a specific color number, you can even put that in. Like it accepts the color codes, which I really loved because I created a brand before I was using StreamYard, and I decided on like a very specific color code that I needed. And so when I brought all my stuff into StreamYard to start my own live stream, I was able to bring that exact brand code, color code into StreamYard. And so the whole thing just looks like amazingly coherent. So that's really cool. Okay, the next thing is the theme. Oh, real quick. Do you have to pay upgrade to stream to multiple platforms? Great question. Yes, you do. So on the free plan, you can only stream to one platform at a time. On the basic paid plan, you can stream to up to 3 destinations at a time. And on the professional paid plan, you can stream to up to 8 destinations at the same time. So it just depends on your need for, how much reach you want to have. Is there a way to sell tickets to a streamed show or event? Is that a built-in feature? Great question. So it's not a built-in feature as of yet, but we do work well with a lot of sort of ticketing companies. You know, you can use other ticketing companies in conjunction with StreamYard. Like a lot of people use Eventbrite to sell their tickets, and they distribute the StreamYard link sort of through Eventbrite after the person has bought the ticket. Or, you know, there's other sites like that you can use as well in conjunction with your StreamYard stream. But we don't personally have a ticketing platform connected to StreamYard. Okay, so the next thing is the theme, and the theme affects the same thing, the name tags, the banners, and the comments, and it just affects like the aesthetics of the stream. So see how she's changing it? Like it drastically changes the way that your stream looks. And the same thing when you show a comment, the comment like layout is affected by the theme. So it's just for further customization. My favorite is, actually, we just released the 2 new themes. The bubble theme and the block theme are both new, which is really fun. My favorite forever was default theme because it's just huge and amazing, and it really just makes your stream pop. And I love how the default theme has the, like your profile picture, Elvis, is like in that circle. It's so good. What is the length of each stream? It really depends on how long you want to do it. On the free plan, you get 20 hours of streaming per month, and you can decide how to use those 20 hours. But on either of the paid plans, there's unlimited streaming, and you could stream for hours. Barbara says, are all streams recorded, or does the user have to select record? So on the paid plan, all live streams that you do are automatically recorded and available for download. You can also do record only streams, which means that you just record like locally and you don't push it out anywhere. On the free plan, none of the streams are recorded. So you can go live on the free plan to one destination, but those ones aren't recorded. Speak It says, so if I use my iPad for my camera, is there any way to use my laptop to do screen shares, or do I have to get a webcam on my laptop so they're on the same device? You can actually download an app on your iPad to turn your iPad camera into a webcam source that's recognizable by your computer, which is super dope. So the two ones that are good for iOS are Camo app, CAMO, and then also, is it Epocam, Dana, for iPhone? Yeah, Epocam, which is EPOCCAM. So I'd recommend checking those 2 out. You can literally like download the app on your iPad and then download the software on your computer, and then they like connect and you can hook that to StreamYard, which is awesome. Sharon says, great content. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so back to brand. So it just affects like the aesthetics of your stream again, you know, like depending on what you want it to look like, what the vibe of your content is, etc. Okay, moving on. So logo, you have the option to upload your business's or your brand's logo, and it displays in the top right corner. So for StreamYard, we have this Powered by StreamYard logo, which is built in. And if you're on the free plan, you will have that always displayed on your streams. But if you do upgrade your plan, you have the opportunity to remove the StreamYard logo and upload your own. So Dana has the coffee cup with the duck in it. That's for the StreamYard, what's it called? Duck morning coffee with the ducks, yeah. So she has that one uploaded, and you can upload, you know, your business logo or whatever. It just really helps to further that customization tool. Can you choose more than one color for different parts of the street? Yeah, you can change the color midstream. So you can only have one color selected at a time. But if you were like, okay, the first half of the stream is going to be blue, and then like later while you're live, you're like, okay, it's going to be pink now. You can do that midstream, which is really cool. You as the host or the producer have that power. Dubhut says, how about audio quality? I'd like to use to stream DJ sets. Yeah. So you have the opportunity to hook up like super high quality audio if you want. You can connect audio mixers or interfaces to StreamYard and have your mics in there. StreamYard will recognize 2 audio channels at once. So Yeah, people do. We have a lot of DJs who use it. A lot of musicians are figure out how to use it. It's just a matter of setting up your audio interface or mixer to get that going. Jack says, if you get basic annual, can you upgrade mid-year? You sure can. Yeah, you can upgrade at any time, and the price will just prorate, which is cool. So it'll include like what you already paid, and you'll just pay the difference when you upgrade, which is awesome. I was thinking that we needed a production assistant to manage guests and more. This is so simple. Do any of you use a VA or admin to assist you? Yeah, so I'm actually really glad you brought that up, Sharon, because it is really easy to operate on your own. Like, it's very doable. But some people do prefer having help. Like for me, like Dana's my producer, so I'm not doing this alone. Like she's in here, she's controlling the comments that you guys are making. She's like displaying the like brands and the banners, and she's like really producing this while I am the personality, but like you said, it is totally possible to do it on your own. And I've done it both ways, like I like having someone like an admin or a producer to help me, but I've also done plenty of shows where I pull the whole thing off on my own. And it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you. Like it's your preference, but it is really user friendly. And if you're very familiar with the platform, like it's no big deal to do it on your own, which is cool. But okay, on the same note, it's also possible to have multiple people logged into the host account. So if you do feel like you need someone to help you with like displaying banners, displaying graphics, etc., like you can have multiple people inside your account with you from multiple like locations, which is really cool. So I hope that helps. Okay, moving on. So now we're at the overlay section, and overlay is sort of where it's at. Like this is where you bring your customization and like your dynamics I was talking about to the extreme. So you can create your own overlays and upload them into your account and then display them. So Dana has right now, this one's built into the account, the live with StreamYard, and then at the bottom right, it says StreamYard Live Show. Can you remove that and then put it back on, Dana, just so they see what you're doing? Yeah. So that's called a transparent overlay. And this one's like built into the StreamYard account. But you can also like design your own with your own logo or your own like tagline or whatever, and upload it into the account and then like have that displayed as just further branding. What I use overlay for is like intro and outro sort of title cards. So for example, I have one like the one she's displayed right now. So that's like the intro card, basically. Like we display that and then we go live. And then, after that, we'll like play a video. And then after the video or the countdown timer, then at the end of that, like I'll come on. So it's like really like layered, and you can use the overlays to, help with your intros and your outros. And it gives like sort of a smooth, very professional vibe to your stream versus just like being on camera and then clicking go live and just being like, okay, hi. You know what I mean? Like it gives like some richness to your live stream quality. Abdul says, how well is the connection with LinkedIn Live? You are a preferred partner. It's great. Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, we stream there and we love LinkedIn. Yeah, so it's good as long as you have solid internet connection. All of the direct platform connections are super duper. Okay, so yeah, we kind of went through overlays. Oh, if you want to design your own overlays, I have 2 website suggestions to do that. My personal fave is Canva, canva.com. They're great. They do, in order to create to have the pro account, in order to create like transparent overlays and like the more like technical stuff, you do have to pay for it. But personally, it's a monthly subscription that like I've gotten so much use out of. I love Canva. It's super user friendly. So if you don't feel particularly tech savvy, but you still want to create your own stuff, use Canva. The other one is Figma, Figma.com. And they're cool too, but they're just a little tougher to figure out in my opinion. Kelsey loves Canva for creating overlays and backgrounds. Yeah, you can also use Photoshop. Yeah, any like editing software you can use, but I love Canva. Are the custom overlays just JPEG files? Yeah, so JPEG or PNG you can upload as overlays. Can you create a move? no, you can't upload .moves to StreamYard. They have to be MP4s. And that actually brings me to my next section, which is the video clips section. And you can upload short video clips that are 10 minutes or shorter, under 200 megabytes in size. And then again, they do have to be MP4 format. And this can be like intro videos, you know, for my show. I have a show about acting and networking because I'm a performer. And so I have like a little short, like 2-minute intro video that I play at the beginning of every stream. And it just helps to give the audience like some anticipation, you know, with your countdown timer. And then you can like, I don't know, really show your personality in your brand. And then when you come on after you display your video, it's like exciting, you know, it gives it that dynamic. Not to repeat myself too much, but it really does. Jack says Canva is great. Yes, it has. It has improved greatly, and I love Canva. Yes. This is not sponsored, but it should be because I love them. Okay, next section is the background. So this is not to be confused with green screen. So the background section will not replace your actual like room. Like Dana is in her room and she's selecting these backgrounds, but you won't be able to see the background until you either bring a guest on with you or remove yourself from the screen. So see how she removes herself from the stream. Then you can see the background. So it's a little confusing. The background is what you're seeing here. See how she's changing this above me? Yeah, so that's the background. It's sort of like what lays behind your webcam boxes on the stream, but it doesn't actually replace my background. A lot of people get strangely confused at that, but I definitely understand the confusion. So just to clarify, the background just like lays behind everything. If you want to replace your actual room, you have to use green screen for that. Okay. And then the last thing is you can either display the names or not. So if you want your stream to be just super streamlined, very simple, you can choose to take the display names off. But if you want them on, I always have them on because I like for my audience to know like who I am and who I'm talking to. But it's really up to you. So you have that added layer of customization and control on that. All right, moving on to the private chat. Private chat is where all of the guests from inside the studio can talk. So this chat doesn't get seen by the viewers. No one who's watching the broadcast can see this. The private chat is only, it's like a DM basically for your whoever's in the StreamYard Studio with you. So if you have someone in your stream who is a guest and you're like trying to communicate with them, but the stream is already going, it's already live, you can't talk to them because you're backstage and the stream is live. So you can't say anything. And they can't hear you. You can't hear them, but you can type in the private chat to communicate with them, which is really cool. So yeah, Dana would be like, hey, Kels, you're on deck. And I'd be like, okay, sick. Thanks so much. Elvis says, if you have a guest on your stream, are they able to control anything or you have the control of everything on StreamYard? Great question. So guests, people who are logged in as guests don't have any control. They're in the studio with you, but they don't see what you see. You as the host have all the controls. And so you don't have to like worry about the guest like accidentally clicking something because their interface, what they see is like very simple. But they do see the private chat and they do see the comment section, but they can't actually click on any of the comments. They can just see them. Great question. Can you just have full screen? You sure can. So if you're not trying to mess with any of the controls, you just want to sort of like get on the screen and go, you can hover your mouse on the bottom right corner of the output frame and click to full screen yourself. So now Dana's full screen. And there you go. And if she brought a guest on, they would be like split screen, taking up the whole area. So it's really up to you. And you can go in and out of full screen at will. Okay, moving on to settings. So you also have settings. Basically, you know, that's just where your broadcast quality is, camera, audio. We don't really need to go through that because it's just sort of like your basic settings. But as long as your camera and your audio are working, then you're all set. Speak It says, any webcam recommendations? Yeah, so anything from Logitech honestly is great. I use the Logitech C920, which is literally a USB plug and play little guy. And I love it. It's like portable. it's not like the highest quality. Like if you had like a DSLR camera, obviously that'd be better quality. But for my purposes, for y'all's purposes, any Logitech USB webcam, specifically the C920, really pops off. Okay. You are super welcome, Elvis. Yes. All right. So yeah, we're just in settings. Okay, for those of you who asked about green screen, this is where you would come to apply your green screen. So you would set up the green screen behind you, then you'd come in and like upload your virtual background or, you know, choose your thing. But Dana doesn't have a green screen up, so we won't do that. Okay, so then you have that. Yeah, we don't need to go through that really. So that's all for settings. So that's on the right-hand side where you have the comments, banners, brand, private chat. That's really where like the majority of your efforts during the stream will happen, is on that end. With the recording, are you only able to use it with a paid plan? Yeah, so you can only record your streams on the basic or the pro paid plans. On the free plan, you can just go live, but we don't have the record feature on that plan. Okay, I'm kind of running out of time here. So really quick, I will go through how to invite a guest because that's really important. So at the bottom of your screen, click the invite guest button, and that brings up a little box where you can invite guests to the broadcast studio. So if you want to have someone on your talk show with you, you want to invite them into the broadcast studio, you copy and paste that little StreamYard link. You can copy it to your clipboard. You can email it to them. You can send it. You can text it, whatever way you want. And that's the link that your guest will click to pop into the studio. And that's all they have to do. Your guests do not have to register with StreamYard. They do not have to make an account. Literally all they have to do is click that invite link, which is amazing. So it's really user-friendly for people, especially if you're having guests on who are older or like who don't want to navigate new platforms or download software. Like I totally feel that, you know? So having just the one link is super awesome. Can the guest share his screen by himself? Yeah, the guest can share screen. So let's go through the share screen, and the guest sees this the same way. So at the bottom, you see next to the invite button is a share screen button. So you have that as the host, but the guest also has that on their side. So if they want to share something like a PowerPoint, they have that option as well. Okay. Apologies if this has already been covered. Can we not just stream using the inbuilt camera on a Mac? You totally can. Yes, you can. As long as your Mac camera works, yeah, it'll work on StreamYard, no prob. You also just have the option to use external cameras for sure. Okay, so Dana invited herself into the stream. So now you see where the guest pops up. So they pop up right next to you in the little thumbnail image, and you see them, yeah, at the bottom there, that's the guest. So you'll see them pop backstage. Like when they come into the studio, they don't just come right on screen like they do in some other platforms, which has caused like, you know, Zoom bombing and all that stuff that was happening. That's impossible with StreamYard because they don't actually come onto the screen first. They pop backstage. So you as the host have the option to either like put them on screen if they're legit or like kick them out of the studio. And then you get to play with the different layouts. All those gray box layouts are the options, the examples that you have for making your stream all that much more dynamic. I'm all about those dynamics today. So that's just really cool. Kenji says, got it. Thanks. You bet. So if someone comments on YouTube and others comment on Facebook, do you just see them all here together? Can Facebook people see YouTube people's comments? So you as the host inside the broadcast studio see all the comments together, and you can see what platform the person is commenting on. Like I see all of y'all's comments from YouTube. See how it has the little YouTube icon there? I know that you're watching on YouTube. We're only streaming to YouTube, but I know you're watching on YouTube because there's that little logo there. But whoever's watching on a certain platform only sees the comments from their own platform on that platform, if that makes sense. So I, as the host, see all the comments come into the studio, like from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I see all of them. And if I display them on screen, then you see all of them too, right? From all the destinations. But if you're just watching on YouTube, then on the YouTube side, you'll only see the YouTube comments, if that makes sense. So the comments don't filter into each destination. I think that's confusing, but hopefully that makes sense. How many people can you have in a stream at one time on screen? Great question. So on the free plan, you can have up to 6 people on screen at a time. But you can have 10 people in the StreamYard Studio. So you can switch people out for like a dynamic talk show type vibe. And then in the pro and basic plans, the paid plans, you can have all 10 people on screen. So you can have 10 people in the broadcast studio and you can have all of those people on screen or some of them or, you know, whatever. But 10 is the maximum. Elvis says, which audio setup are you using? It sounds great. Thank you. I use a Blue Yeti microphone. I'll show you. Oh, can you see? That's what I use. It's great. It's really easy as well. It's like USB plug into the laptop. But you can also use like headphone microphone, you know, built-in microphone. It doesn't really matter, but I love the Blue Yeti. Any of the Yeti mic products, I'm a big fan. And thank you for the compliment, Elvis. Okay, I got distracted. What's next? Oh yeah, so now we have to go live. So we invited our guest. The guest is in the studio. We're all good to go. And now when you're ready to go live and push it to your destination, you click go live at the top right corner. You say yes. And then here we are. And now we are live. So you see the little live it says like your little count, your timer for how long you're live, etc. You can add banners while you're live. You can do everything while you're live. Yeah. So you can preload stuff, you know, like if you want to preload your graphics and what have you. But you can also change it on the spot too, which is really cool. So you have a lot of options. So now we're live and that's basically it, you know. You can also see the viewer count in the top left corner. See the little eyeball? So you can see how many people are watching from which destination. So 0 people are watching right now because we didn't share the link with anyone. But essentially, if you were streaming public, you would be able to see like, oh, I have 6 viewers from YouTube, 7 viewers from Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's end this puppy. So to end the broadcast, just like you went live, you have to click to end it too. So you click the red end broadcast button. And then all done. And you can give broadcast feedback if you want. How does this compare to Zoom? I have Zoom webinars. So I might be a little biased, but StreamYard is a lot more user-friendly than Zoom for multiple reasons. The first reason is that you just have like a lot more options with StreamYard. You can multi-stream, first of all. Like Zoom doesn't have the opportunity to multi-stream to different platforms. If you go live, I believe you can only go live to one spot at a time. So StreamYard lets you go to like all your platforms at once, which is cool. And then it's not a software. So you can use it in your browser, which is really great. You don't have to download anything. But the main difference between StreamYard and Zoom that really sort of makes the decision for some people is that with Zoom, you can obviously have like hundreds of people on screen at the same time. It's more of a meeting platform, whereas StreamYard is like a live stream platform. So on StreamYard, you can only have 10 people, right, in the studio at one time. So that's usually what it comes down to for people is if they need to have more than 10 people on cam and mic at the same time. But the customization features that StreamYard offers, as well as the multi-stream feature and the audience interaction, like where you can show those comments on screen, for me, like absolutely takes the cake. So do with that what you will. Okay. Capture computer sound. Yeah. So you can right now share audio when you screen share in a Chrome tab. So we don't have full computer audio share yet, but if you have like an MP4 video you're trying to share with audio, you can pull that up in a Chrome tab on Chrome. Chrome becomes your video player. Then you can screen share that with audio and put it through the stream. Yeah. Is the best way to add producers to share your user information? How many producers can hosts share their user information? Yeah, so right now, each account can only be associated with one email. So if you do need people logging in with you, you have to share the email login with that person. And then when they attempt to log in, a unique 6-digit login code will like pop into your email, and then you'll have to like forward that to them so they can use it to log in. So what some people do if they have to share accounts is they'll register their StreamYard account with like a neutral email address that's not like a personal email for anyone, so that the whole team can have access to the email address in order to get the codes to log in. And there's no limit to how many people you can have logged into your account. You just want to be careful, right? Like who you share that login with, because yeah, just be careful. Yeah, but you can, that's pretty easy, especially if you use like a neutral email address. And we are officially in Q&A time. So if I missed anyone's Q's, I have some A's for you. Where do you suggest finding a producer admin familiar with StreamYard? Any thoughts on a job description? Thanks. Great question, Sharon. And we actually have a StreamYard producer program that's kind of in its beta stage right now. I am happy to be part of this program. I am a StreamYard producer and I do freelance production work on the side through this program. And someone can hopefully drop that producer program link in the comments for Sharon. But we have 10 like super qualified producers who freelance production work for live streamers who use StreamYard. I'm one of them. And yeah, hopefully someone can drop that info for Sharon and you can find someone through that. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions like further about that, Sharon, if you pop into the live chat at streamyard.com/contact after the show. I'll be in there. Any other questions? Hello, David. How many time between StreamYard and YouTube Live? I feel like you mean like latency or delay between StreamYard and YouTube. It's generally like a standard 10 to 15 seconds from the time you go live on StreamYard to like when it hits YouTube. Sometimes even shorter, maybe like 5 seconds depending. That's pretty standard, you know? I hope that answers the question. Yeah, there's like a standard latency between the platforms. Oh yeah, cool. So Dana dropped the producer link. So Sharon, you can peruse all the available producers there that are super qualified and like really awesome. Jill says, is it straightforward to convert into a podcast? Yeah, it is. There's a bunch of sites that do it really easily for you. I know Anchor is one of them. I think it's anchor.com. You can check that out and like you make an account and it's just like very easy. There's other sites too, but Anchor is the only one that's coming to my mind at the moment. But yeah, I know a lot of people who turn their streams into podcasts really easily. Oh yeah. Okay. Great question, Jack. I was just about to say this. You can download just the audio from your stream, but you can also download the video as well. So wait, Jack says, can we pull out just the video if we want to edit for other reasons? Yeah, so you'd have to download, Jack, the whole recording. So it would be audio and video, but you could take the audio out in post, you know, and just use the video to repurpose. And then on the other side of the coin, for the person asking about podcasts, you can also just download the audio track and like upload that to your other like podcast platforms if you want. And Dana's showing that on stream. So we are just about out of time, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm super sorry if I missed anyone's questions, but again, I'll be in the StreamYard live chat, like tech support chat. If you want to pop in and ask for me, I can answer any unanswered questions that I missed. Additionally, you are watching on YouTube right now. And if you want to see more content from StreamYard, you want to get more tutorial videos, you want to like be kept up to date with the new features and stuff. We're releasing stuff all the time. We're growing super fast. If you could just click the subscribe and like button on this video, that would be awesome. And we are so happy to have you in the StreamYard community. So welcome and happy streaming. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.